Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
You just said something right before we started recording that was funny. It reminded me of our meeting last week when we had with Nick, who's on our podcast a lot. Said that he was on a road trip with his family and we needed to stop because he was thirsty, and told his mom he was thirsty, and she turned around. Typical OG mom thing to say was swallow your own spit. That is just so
everybody's been throwing that around for the last few days. Anytime anybody complains about anything, swallow your spit.
Just swallow your own spit. So gross. So gross.
You can take care of yourself. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Anyway, I had a weirdest stress dream. Have you had any of those at all? I haven't had one for ages, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know why, but it was, we were doing a podcast, and I've never dreamt about doing a podcast with anybody. Okay?
Yeah.
I've never had that. We're doing a podcast. I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. Doing a podcast, like a Zoom, with Chick and Nick is who we were doing.
Random.
Yeah. Yeah. And, so we were doing that, and for whatever, because I was at home, everybody was pretty much at home doing the broadcast, right? We were all doing it together, but we were all in our homes. And I got up to go do something and left the camera on and totally forgot I didn't have pants on.
What? Like,
usually I have like yoga pants on.
You had no pants on.
But for whatever reason, just my underpants.
What?
And the camera caught it.
Oh my God.
And I could see me on the camera.
What the hell would make you think of that?
Right? And it was like, everybody saw that.
Oh my gosh. What a weird.
Have you ever, though, like, when you're like, really, I had this thought.
What? That is the weirdest thing.
When you're like super, super lazy weekend, right? You're doing whatever you're doing your thing. And then you run to the store real quick and you just stop real quick to realize, okay, can I wear these pants out? What am I wearing? You know, what do I have on? Or I have a jacket on. It's like, what shirt do I have on under here? Did I wear my bra? Right. God, just to make sure everything's on before I go walking in the store. Because I haven't had.
I think that's a girl thing. It's like guys
usually
don't think of that stuff.
You don't, like the way things have been the last few months, it's like you're not putting as much attention into detail.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
So then all of a sudden you just walk out the door and you think you're probably, all put together. Well, you've been around your house all day or for days for that matter.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, wait, what? Is everything where it's supposed to be? Okay, I can walk in. I'm like,
and the okay, I can walk in bar is lower than it was a year ago anyway. Because a year ago, 2 years ago would not. If you 2 years ago talked to Jill now, she would be appalled.
Yeah, ashamed. Just lower my head. Oh my God.
Right, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you sick? What's the matter?
Have those, maybe that's what it stemmed from. I don't know, because it's like have those moments where I'm going into Baker's or whatever. It's like, whoa, wait. Everything good? Okay. No slippers? We're good. Yeah,
no fine?
I've done the slippers. Like I've
walked into slippers
I've
before.
walked out of the office because I have slippers I wear at the office and kick my shoes off and walked. And I get home, I still have my slippers on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
shit.
Okay. I know. I've done that before. We walk out of the house and you're getting gas.
Walking
and you realize
to
you have
Ace
slippers.
Hardware, I got my slippers on. Don't even talk to me. Just
right?
Don't even.
And who notices people's shoes anyway? But as soon as that happens, or there's something on you that's either dirty. Like I've walked out and I have like a big mustard stain on my shirt, and you just feel like such a trash hole. It's so awful.
Yeah. So I don't know what brought that dream on. I don't know why Chick and Nick were part of it.
But that's what's weird is that Chick and Nick, and then you not wearing pants.
And then it was like, wait, was that live? Were we doing it was like Facebook Live type thing?
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Oh my
What would you
God.
like? Honestly, if that was real life and that happened, would you just die? Like if you were and we were on Facebook and 4,000 people were watching and you stand up in your underpants. Oh my God. That would be one of my top 3 best days ever. That would be one of the funniest. Oh my God.
So I got to remember, never again am I on a call without my pants.
Right.
Never, ever, ever.
Never again am I on a call without my pants.
Have you ever? Have you never ever? That'll be one of those questions. Been on a call without your pants. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I had one, but around the house, like I get it. You're so comfortable. And if you're on a meeting and if you're just sitting there in underwear, or for guys, like in boxers or whatever, you're just so comfortable. You stand up and you don't even think about it.
You don't. You see what's happening to us? We're devolving.
Yes.
Slowly but
No,
surely.
you're not. Women are just coming down to the level of guys, men. We're all becoming just men.
We were trying so hard to lift us up.
No.
We were trying.
But that's hard. Coming back down.
I know,
Come down to our levels. A lot easier.
Evolving. It's like all of a sudden there are things that we just don't care about anymore.
I love it.
We don't put the extra effort into anymore. So yeah. So from now on,
I can't let
pants.
fitness be that thing though. I'm noticing that I'm getting to that point where I'm like I need to do something. I saw
my
our
God.
family pictures the other day. I honestly
Oh no.
I don't even know how to put it. Like everybody's had that picture where you see where you're carrying a little extra weight and you're like, oh my God, that's what I look
Or
like.
that angle.
Well, unfortunately, there was no good angle.
There's no good angle.
No.
Because you know what? There are no angles on me.
No, right.
Now.
I'm a rhombus. I'm a fat, hairy rhombus.
No corners.
No.
Just nice, smooth
no edges.
It's nice, smooth corners. It's
I-
nice, smooth, rounded. Yeah.
I looked at two pictures and I said, like, babe, I can't look at those anymore. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. At one point, I looked like I had to lean in because it was like one of those, you're in a meadow and you're leaning in case your wife. Yeah. I'm leaning in. I had to like lean in farther to get, because my dicky do was sticking out. Like, you have got to be kidding me. I got to mix in a salad. I've just got to.
It's terrible. It really, I get it. And I still have all the exercise equipment in the basement.
Right?
Haven't been down to see it. No.
And my
Haven't gone down to
feed,
visit.
my feed on TikTok, my feed on Instagram, all the ads are like V-shred, because I've clicked on all these ads like lose 20 pounds in this. It's like V-shred, it's Beachbody, it's all these keto things, and then I go to TikTok and it's the same thing.
That's
but then
all I
it's
see.
also these guys that are cooking like steak.
Oh, yeah.
So you can obviously see where I'm torn.
I know. I get it.
We got a text. Some texts here. 402-403-9478. It's okay. This is from Mary. She just loved our 80s podcast, our flashback.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It really was a lot of fun. And kind of, it's like that's the, what's old is new again, the 80s. That's like becoming in fashion, so to speak, as far as the music, and just everything in general, I guess, really just going through that stuff. That list was fun to go through.
And she also says that we were also talking about whether schools say the Pledge of Allegiance. Her school system does. She didn't say which one, but it's school-wide.
Wow.
Got another text, says, high school teacher here. The pledge is done every single day. It's required by state law. Not a single kid in my class stands for it or says it, and I think that's pretty standard. But it's said over the intercom every day during announcements. But nobody stands for it or anything. That's pretty sick.
I wonder, what I'm thinking is it would just take, because I'm sure nobody wants to be the first. Somehow that slowly went away, kind of like wearing pants at home, right? It just slowly went away. Mm-hmm. But now nobody wants to be first to stand back up and say, let's stand up and do it. Mm-hmm. Let's stand up and do the pledge. Because it was like, for our generation, for us, if the pledge is being said, you just automatically stop, stand, and put your hand on your heart.
100%. Yeah.
Just do it. You don't even think about it.
Yeah. So it would be weird. It's weird when you like when you're at a sporting event or whatever and the Star Spangled Banner's playing and some people don't stand up. It's just weird. It's one of those things that's just ingrained in you as from the time you were a little kid that's during the pledge and during the national anthem. It's just take your hat off. And
the rodeos, that's something that rodeos and horse shows, they always started with the national anthem or had somebody with the flag, would ride in and then they'd just do the national anthem.
Yeah, it's tradition.
It really is. And started baseball games.
Everything.
All that stuff. Yeah. I'd like to see that more.
So over this past weekend, I forgot to tell this story yesterday too. I don't know what it is with Aldi, but twice since the pandemic started, I've seen like an altercation, not punching or anything, at Aldi over masks and distancing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. One was last year where a guy had a cart in front of him, pushing his cart. Another guy was in front of him. It was at least 6 feet, and the guy turned around.
You're basically 6 feet when you've got a cart between you.
And there actually were two carts. The guy was in front of his cart.
Okay.
So it was like
plenty of feet.
So the guy yelled at him. But anyway, this past weekend, we're at the Aldi on 72nd, and they need to sell individual onions, by the way. Like, not a big bag. If a boy just needs an onion, they sell just by the bag.
You and your onion.
So again, so this is back to my wife.
You're kidding me? They don't?
No, I went all over the place, and the one out here doesn't either. The one
Baker's
on 132nd.
does, like Baker's Hy-Vee, they all just have individual.
Oh yeah,
onions.
they do, but Aldi doesn't. I don't know why. And we love Aldi. Anyway, so again, in my wife's typical fashion of just kind of getting me out of the way so she can do the business.
Yeah, get the business done.
We get everything done, and she likes to unload the baskets And then she also likes to pack the baskets into the bag because I don't know, she likes that. Which is whatever.
Right.
So as she's unloading, she goes, why don't you go back and go look and see if you can find a onion all by himself.
Go count bricks.
And that's like literally how she said it. Why don't you go see if there's an onion by itself? I'm like, okay. And I knew what she was doing, but whatever. So
Orphan onion.
I'm walking around by the produce and I hear this guy say, well, I think it's embarrassing and ridiculous. And I turned around and it's a guy. There's a woman in there who does not have a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is probably 7 or 8 feet away from her, just berating her. And she said, listen, sir, I have a medical condition. I can't wear a mask. I'm vaccinated. And he goes, well, that you could be a spreader. You are rude. And everybody in this building is now at risk. And even though he had a mask on, and she goes, well, I'm not going to put a mask on. So thanks. Have a great day. Like she was super polite, young girl, probably 30.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I just think that this is insane. And actually you look terrible. Like, and literally she goes, well, I don't know what it has to do with it, but thanks.
Okay.
And the guy, and then he just walked away.
He's not a good arguer.
Oh,
not at all. He was not prepared for that at all.
And you look terrible. Like, what? I felt bad for her because it was I'm sure she was embarrassed because there was a ton of people there.
Yeah.
And she had to sit there and
listen to it.
And she gave him more information than she needed to.
Exactly.
It's like,
even to tell him, medical condition, vaccinated, she didn't have to say any of that.
No, you can get out of my face.
Exactly. And if you don't want to walk by her, I'm sure she wasn't exactly like walking up on people.
No, she was standing by the melons, like in that area. I think it's the biggest area.
And they called him the Streak. Do you remember that? There he was. Like, what was that song? The Streak.
The Streak.
Remember that
yeah.
song, Ray Stevens.
Yeah.
And there she was, standing by the melons.
And there she was, maskless, standing by the melons.
That's an old song. That just popped in my head. That is fun. Standing by the melons. Don't look, Ethel.
This guy wasn't Ethel. This guy was a Karen. Don't look, Karen.
Yes, exactly.
Maskless, standing by the melons. Don't look, Karen.
At how things have changed.
That's right.
Damn it. Streaking mask.
Unfortunately, that's how it goes.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I did felt bad for her. She acted like I'm sure she acted like she did act like she really didn't care, but I'm sure it bothered her.
I'm sure it did.
was stupid. So that guy then he gets out. It's funny because he had carrying his little motorcycle helmet, and he gets outside, lime green crotch rocket. I'm like, dude, I'd worry more about what you're driving than if somebody's not wearing a mask at Aldi.
There is no good age you look good on those.
No, none.
Zero. Real quick question for you. This is funny because this had to do with Jack. I got my fence fixed. Everything's ready to go. And when I say fixed, my gate was broken. So I got the gate broken. It is rock solid. Looks great. Jack was outside. I want to leave him outside. I'm afraid he'll jump the fence.
He will.
Do you think
yes, 100%.
He will jump the fence?
Yes. If there's an opportunity, if something is on the other side, a squirrel or another dog, and he can get out.
He's never even attempted to.
I wouldn't risk it.
I just don't believe he'd do it. I think he's...
What do you think? That he's going to have reason? He's going to go, Mom said. Mom doesn't believe... I'm a good boy. Mom doesn't believe I would do that. He doesn't care. He wants to tear out... He's a German Shepherd, for God's sakes.
I'm just wondering, and I'm not going to go into my little German Shepherd group and ask this, but I'm just wondering, I mean, as far as your dogs outside, because when I had dogs as a kid, the dogs would stay outside most of the day. They were outside. Sure. And there was one dog that he had a little dog house outside, and he was just outside and it was all cool. But they weren't German Shepherds.
Yeah. Well, when I was in the country, we had dogs that were never inside. They were all outdoor dogs. They had a barn and like a heat lamps and everything, but they were always outside.
Isn't that funny? And they weren't fenced in.
No.
I don't understand that because our dogs, we lived on the highway.
Yeah.
And we had dogs. We had all kinds of critters, but they stayed right by the house.
Yeah.
The house in the barn and never on leash. Always right by my side. I don't understand how we did that.
Yeah, we just got lucky. I mean, Sugar got hit by a bus, but she got hit by a school bus.
Oh my God!
Maybe it was Daisy, one of the two, one of them. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, they would stick
and
around.
And the other one saw
run.
that and said, you see what happened, Daisy?
I'm staying in the barn.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm good. No.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. They never ran away. They always came back.
I just hate to bring them back inside when it's so nice outside.
He'll get over it. It's better than being okay. And I know you lost Doogie for a while.
Yeah.
For what, 7 days? Doogie was gone until you finally got him back.
It's awful.
Daphne was gone for like 3 or 4 days, and those 3 or 4 not knowing. I can't. not on the same level at all of having a missing child.
No.
But I understand what it's like when somebody should be somewhere, some dog or animal person,
Whoever.
and you don't know where they are. You don't know what the backstory. You don't know what happened to them. It would drive you crazy.
Absolute
so
panic.
Those 3 days that Daphne was gone was torture, and
Without a doubt.
no, and I just wouldn't risk it. Like he'll get over it. He'll forget about it. Addie,
I know his feelings aren't hurt if I make him stand inside, but
because he's a dog, and he's a very well trained dog.
Yes, this is true. This is true. I know. I feel bad.
Oh,
I feel like I'm depriving
See,
him.
Beth is the same way with Addie. Molly doesn't care about going outside, but Addie wants to go outside. She's a hunter. She's killed things before. and Beth always says, yeah, she won't go anywhere. She won't do anything. She'll just stay on the porch. Oh, no. Now she'll just stay in the grass. She'll just stay in the landscaping. So when we were painting the deck or staining the deck this weekend, Addie wanted to come out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I had... We're down. We're focusing.
Yeah.
Not thinking about Addie. And after 5 or 10 minutes, I look and she's kind of walking towards the fence. And I'm like, babe, we gotta get Addie back in the house. No, she's fine. I said, okay. If something happens, it's on you because I can't focus because it drives me crazy. Because if Addie would be gone or Molly, either one, it would be absolute torture. I wouldn't sleep. I'd be out searching all the time.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to deal with that. And so Addie, sure enough, took off. And she ended up hiding in the back corner of the yard, but we were all over the front of the house, front of the park, absolutely frantic. And that was the closest I've ever been to being mad at my wife. I was mad.
I have Benny, the new cat. Benny was a barn cat, and Benny came to live with me last fall when it started getting cold. And because Benny was less than a year old at that time, and he also, or she. Mom misgendered. But she
happens.
Benny. But anyway, she was too friendly, right? So she was coming down to the house from the barn, and the barn cats are barn cats for a reason.
Right.
They stay in the barn. But she wanted to follow, and and Mom was afraid that something would happen to her because she would just go up to anybody, and she would come up to their cars and all that good stuff. So I took her home with me. So winter was all great. She had no interest in going outside. And I was like, this is perfect. She's a perfect house cat. Now it's spring.
And she wants to be outside.
Meow,
Oh, yeah.
meow, meow. And just, oh, my God. She's like, I didn't know I was signing up for this.
Yeah. See, I know.
I can't go outside now.
Sorry, dude.
It's like, I can't. I just can't.
I wouldn't.
It scares
I wouldn't
me to
either.
death. But no.
I wouldn't either. No, I'm sorry. When it comes down to it, we are human beings. We are the bosses.
This is, oh, God, yes, this is true.
We are the bosses, and we are the ones with anxiety. Dogs have anxiety, cats have anxiety, but they also get to clean themselves. It's a trade-off. If we had that, maybe we'd be a little bit more forgiving.
Okay.
Hold on. You guys go outside. Dad's just going to stay here and give himself a bath. You guys just go.
And on that note,
there it is.
That's a visual.
It started off with you in your underpants and me giving myself a bath. What a great episode. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.